today I'm going to be making an Italian bread, a Pannetone. Now it's quite a long process, but you can do this over a couple of days. There are 3 bread rises in this, so it's really important that you use bread flour. All-purpose flour will not work for this, there's not enough gluten in it. So here we go. In this bowl I have my flour and I have 1.5 teaspoons of salt, so that's going in. You can do this by hand, but I don't recommend it. I do recommend using a stand mixer if you've got one, because as I said, this is really quite a long process. In here I have my sugar, and I've taken a tablespoonful of this to put in my yeast mix here. I've got the zest of 1 orange and 1 lemon going in. That will give it some lovely flavour. I need 3 eggs. There we go, 1. Try not to get the shells in. 2. 3. Oh, I think I may have dropped a bit of shell there. Let's fish it out quick. There we go. Yes, that really won't do, will it? And now look at the state of me. In this bowl here, I've squeezed some oranges. You want around 160 mils of orange juice, and in there I have I've got sultanas. I think it's about 40 grams. Now I want 1/4 cup, that's about 60 mils of the orange juice to go into there, and then I'll pop that to one side and keep it covered because we're going to use that later on. Finally, I have my milk, the tablespoon of sugar that I took out, and I have a tablespoon, that's about 12 grams of yeast. Now I'm using dried yeast. If you're using active dried yeast, it can go straight in. If you're using like baker's yeast, dried yeast, then you need to put it in your milk and leave it for about 10 minutes to activate the yeast. We're all in. I need now to just knead this on low for 10 minutes. Okay, my dough has mixed, and as you can see it's come cleanly away from my hook here. The dough is sort of tacky, but look at that stretch on it. Right, what we're going to do now is cover it and leave it to rise until it's doubled in size. I'll see you when that's done. My dough has doubled in size, so all I'm going to do is knock it back a tad in the bowl. I'm going to add in a tablespoon of vanilla. I'm going to put sugar, 3 egg yolks are all going in. There we go. Now here I have 200 grams of butter. What I need to do now is mix this, and while I'm mixing, put all of this butter in a little bit at a time. It's going to get really sticky and gloopy. Now you need to keep this going for up to 20 minutes until it all comes together and pulls away from the sides of your bowl. It really can take between 10 and 20 minutes to do this, but keep going, keep mixing until that happens. I'll show you when I'm there. Now this has taken me 25 minutes in my machine to get it to this stage. Look at that. And it's very, very thick. Now, what we're going to do is cover this until it's doubled in size. How they used to make this by hand is beyond me. Really, it's not something I'd like to try. I'll see you when this is doubled in size. Well, my Pannetone, look at it, puffed up beautifully. I've got to say that I actually put this in the fridge when I finished yesterday, and I left it to rise overnight. So we are another day today. First thing I'm going to do is just lightly oil my mat, because I don't want to put any more flour in this at all. So here we go. All I'm going to do is knock this back a tad, and you can see how sticky this is. It's wonderful. It's still a bit chilly. Now, this will make a 1 kilo Pannetone. Now, I've only got these small 500 gram papers. So I'm going to cut this in half, and I'm going to make 2 types of Pannetone from this. So let's put one to one side, make sure I'm oiled there. Should have filled this up really, shouldn't I? There we go. I'm going to put that one to one side for a moment. This one, make sure we're oiled. There we go, that's better. All I'm going to do is flatten this out into a sort of squarish shape. There we go. A bit bigger than that maybe. There we go. Beautiful. Then in here I have the fruit that I soaked in orange juice, but I also then added to that it's called Macédoine de Fruits, so it's fruit comfy. Let's just punch that down a tad more. There we go. And what I'm going to do is put this in. I don't want any excess orange juice going in. Oh, look at this. Lots. Last few bits. And I'm going to lay this on here, and then I'm going to knead it through my dough. Look at that. That looks beautiful already. Very, very Christmassy. So here we go. I'm just going to fold it in and knead it together. Frame this everywhere, look. This is a proper messy job, this, but there's something quite satisfying about it. Here we go. Now what we want to do is just make it a fairly nice shape on top before we put it into the mould. Just try and make the top look a bit nice. There we go. That's looking good. Very sticky, as you can see at the moment. Although it's not really sticking to my hands as such. Then I'm going to lift this up and place it into my Pannetone case. Make sure I get a good side. There we go. And it's in. Now I'm just going to push it down so that it fills the bottom. And there's one done. Okay, for the next one, same thing. As you can see, I've cleaned my mat. Take your second piece and and the same process, just zhuzh it out. Now I'm going to make this one slightly bigger because I'm going to put chocolate into this one and make a chocolate Pannetone, because one of my sons really doesn't like fruit, so I figured if I make 2 of these, that would be some for him, some for us. Okay, I'm putting cocoa powder into here and chocolate chips. So I'm going to start off with half of what I've put on the screen, and we'll see how it goes from there. And what I'm going to do is knead this through my Pannetone, and there it goes. There go my chocolate chips. I knew this would be quite a difficult one to do, but it does make a mess. But having said that, it's picking everything up, which is what I want it to do, and we're giving it a thorough kneading while we're doing it. What a mess I made there. Honestly, I've had to clear up. It is hideous. Do the same thing with, just shape it into a bit of a ball into the Pannetone packet, making sure that you've got it nice and shaped and pushed down around the sides. Now I do suggest that you put these on this one's already started to rise. I do suggest that you put these on a tin because they're much easier to move. Now all we're going to do now is cover these with, I'm using sandwich bags, just cover them with that. And we're going to leave them to rise, but not as much as we have done. It won't be double. We only want it to come about 1 inch below the top of the wrapper, because these will rise in the oven, and if it goes up to the top then it will spill out when we come to cook it. So I'm just going to cover them now, and this should be around about an hour in my kitchen because it's quite cold. So I'll see you when these are ready to go. As you can see, my Pannetone has come to within 1 inch of the top of my paper. Now that's exactly where I need it to be. So only one thing left to do. I've already put an egg wash on the top of this. I forgot to tell you about that. Sorry. Before you rise it, egg wash. Now what I'm going to do is cut now across in the top of my Pannetone. Pannetone. That was a really bad accent, wasn't it? So we just cut across in the top, and then what I'm going to do is place some butter slices into there, just into the cross, like this. It's looking wonderful, isn't it? Don't you think? Now this is ready to go. So all I've got to do now is get my other one ready. All I need to do now is bake my Pannetone in the middle lower half of the oven, so that that's sat just above the lower part of the oven. You put it in a preheated oven at 180 degrees centigrade, and I'll put the other temperatures up. You cook this, a kilo, bigger one, will take between 60 and 70 minutes. This size should take 45 to 50 minutes. When you can put a skewer in and it comes out clean, then you know it's done. Well, my Pannetone is about to come out of the oven, and this is where it gets tricky, because I've got a big saucepan here and some metal skewers, and what I need to do is very quickly pierce my panettone through the paper, and then it needs to hang upside down because otherwise it's going to collapse. So I'll put the skewers through, but I'm going to need somebody to help me to turn it upside down because I can't do that myself. I've tried and failed miserably. Look at this. Oh wow, look at that. Fantastic. I'm just going to skewer all the way through to the other side. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it smells delightful. There we go. All the way through. I've not done a very good job of that, but I'm sure my husband will sort that out for me in a moment. So there it is, upside down in the saucepan. I'm going to do the same with the chocolate one, and it's going to stay like that till it is absolutely cold. I'll see you later on for a taste test. We're here at my wonderful Pannetone and I'm so pleased with them. Look at the inside of this. That is absolutely beautiful. And the chocolate one. I've put slightly less mix in this one, but look at it. It looks absolutely fantastic and so moist. Look at this. Look at this bread. That is beautiful. Oh, it's still slightly warm. But here we go. Oh, I like that one. But I would. That is really good. It is so moist. Look at this. Look how moist that is. Not dry at all. I'm not very good at cutting. Look at it. Oh, light as a feather. Oh. I tell you what. That is brilliant. It's not cakey at all. It's exactly as a panettone should be. It is light. It's bubbly. It's delicious. Absolutely buttery and beautiful. It does take a while to make this, but it is so worth it. I mean, look at that. Especially for a Christmas bread. It is beyond anything. It is buttery, fluffy, beautiful and light. You could put some butter on it if you wanted to. You can toast this as well. But it will keep for days and days. And I can assure you, it's never going to last that long. It's going to get eaten in no time. In fact, I'm going to eat this now. Anyway, if you liked what you saw, please like, share and subscribe to see me making more delicious, cost-effective food. Thank you for watching.